I know.
I was on time, on target. Hey, Thomas Pre-Council to order. It's good to see everyone. Homecoming week. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Okay, Mr. Mills, you're back this week.
Yes, sir. Took the week off.
Yeah. We stayed sober for a week.
Good afternoon, Council and Mayor. We have 4 applicants tonight.
The first one will be Halloween party on October 27th at 416 University Boulevard. My second application will be homecoming alumni event on October 22nd at 526 Jefferson Avenue. The third application is for Wild at Heart on November 10th at 2213 University Boulevard. And the last application I have is for Harvest Fest Jams on October 28th at 1800 McFarland Boulevard East.
Would you flip through the locations once, again, please, a little bit slower?
Okay, so the first one is
416 University Boulevard, so that's down on campus.
that's on campus. Yes, sir. 526 Jefferson Avenue is on campus as well.
Okay,
And then 2213, that's at Children's Hands-On Museum.
okay.
And then 1800 McFarland Boulevard will be in the small area of Midtown.
Thank you.
Sir.
No. I just zoned out. Look, I'm just,
Okay, I guess
just
no
staying
way.
off of this.
All right. You understand?
Yeah,
Mayor Maddox?
I don't have any announcements, but I think we'll rush those.
Okay. There he is.
Yes, sir.
Right here.
I just wanted to introduce our new 311 call center manager to you all. This is Portia McBride. She comes to us from the Norfolk Police Department. She's got a abundance of experience, and so she's going to be working with all of you to pull data on your different districts and what the community is saying and all that. So,
McBride?
McBride, that's
Okay.
correct.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I just got some really nice compliments on what y'all were doing. I know you get complained on from time to time, but I had a constituent brag on y'all, so thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. I'll pass it on. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, just I'm grateful to be here. Everybody's been great, very warm. I've been telling everybody I can't get over how nice everybody's been. You don't
It'll
get
fade
that in the
away.
police department a lot,
Give
so
us time.
I'm grateful to be here and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If you miss it, we can send you over TPD for.
I'm good. Thank you.
No offense, chief.
Yeah, I just want to thank Fire and Rescue for what they did for my family this weekend and how it really meant a lot. And the care that we got and just the love they showed my dad at a very critical time to me means a lot. And I appreciate you.
And I will piggyback that because when my mom was, we thought we were lost her. And this was several months back and the firemen came over and literally picked her up in their arms and got her to where she needed to go and then met us there and got her out of the car and just like it was their mother is how they treated my mother, like it was their mother. And so and then met us back and got her inside safely as well and didn't want to leave. That's just the kind of people we've got. And it's just, I understand it. I know exactly what you're talking about, Norman. I'm glad you brought that up.
Very appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. Lily.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have 2 items for y'all today. The first is HPC. This member is mayor nominated, council appointed. Mr. Chris Brooks changed his mind and notified us last week that he no longer wishes to be reappointed. Our plan is to open the portal for 2 weeks, and after the 2 weeks and the mayor makes his nomination, we will bring that nominee to you all and you will decide then. That works for y'all. Okay, and then the second one is Para Executive Director Search Committee member. I'm just circling back from last week on that.
Okay, and we need to vote on that today, right?
Today, the deadline is tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Should we nominate?
I'll nominate the woman.
Nominate Norman, okay? Any other nominations? Okay. All right,
Thought
then.
they already had.
I thought we had already.
Well, you wanna nominate yourself?
Oh, I didn't think that it was proper protocol to nominate myself. I thought that you asked us to say if we wanted to be on it
I
last
did,
week.
I
So
did, so we
that
got
was already
two.
mentioned.
I can, okay, so you nominate
Okay,
me.
so we got two.
Yeah.
So we need to vote, and I'll start with you. Raven, who's that vote?
Well, Norman had talked to me about it, and I didn't know your concerns or your wishes, so I wanted to give my support to Norman.
Okay, Matthew?
For myself.
I hope so, because I vote for myself every 4 years.
It's kind of weird, I'm gonna vote for myself too.
Yeah, I'll vote for Norman.
Mr. Crowder.
Matthew.
Okay?
There you
All right,
go.
Norman, you'll be representing us on that executive director search committee, and I know you'll keep us all involved.
Yes, important.
Okay, Mr. Holmes?
Thank y'all.
Good afternoon, how are y'all doing?
Good to have you back.
Well, it's good to be back, and we're relatively light this evening, so I appreciate y'all for that. Let me be gone for a couple Tuesdays. I wasn't gone for 2 weeks, but I did miss 2 Tuesdays in a row, so it seems like it to me. If we will join me here behind all the alcohol licenses over towards the bottom of page 2, where on page 19 you'll be authorizing negotiations of scope and fee with Chambliss King's Architects for professional services on the Benjamin Barnes YMCA. That came from projects on the 11th. On page 20, you'll be authorizing the execution of agreements and related documents for the Tech Retreat 2022 event. That came from projects on the 11th. On page 21, you'll be authorizing submission of an application to the Federal Aviation Administration for the 2023 new terminal funding under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law Airport Terminal Project. That is doubled up, and you'll hear more about it in projects today. On page 22, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a primary services agreement and task order directive number 1 with Jacobs Engineering Group for advanced metering infrastructure project implementation plan, total not to exceed $99,850, and that was on projects on the 11th. On page 23, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. That is a total of $5,810.68. That is doubled up, and you will hear it on projects today. On page 24, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the contract for engineering and related services with TTL for Sokol Park North, the new parking lots and Watermelon Road improvements. That is a total of $553,000 and $553,600, and that was from projects on the 11th. On page 25, you'll be authorizing the CFO to draw a draft for the Juanita Drive Phase 2 Improvements Project. This is for property acquisitions and is for a total of $41,150. That's more property that Mr. Bobbitt is getting for the project in Mr. Tyner's district.
Yes.
On page 26, you'll be authorizing a professional services agreement with Davis Architects for the Sabin Center and Tuscaloosa Event Center project. That's a total not to exceed $7,500,000. And you heard about that in projects last week. On page 27, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a joint funding agreement with the University of Alabama for the additional improvements to campus area water distribution system improvements. That's a total not to exceed $1,373,300.19. And you discussed that in projects last week. On page 28, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Board of Trustees of the University of Alabama to provide consulting and related services for management of the Mildred Westervelt Warner Transportation Museum. That's for fiscal year 23, and that is a total not to exceed $157,570, and that is doubled up. You will hear about that in finance today. On page 29, you'll be authorizing personnel to conduct financial transactions on behalf of the city of Tuscaloosa, and that came from Finance Committee last week. On page 30, you'll be authorizing signers for various City of Tuscaloosa accounts. Again, that came from Finance Committee last week. Moving down to ordinances and resolutions of a general nature or permanent operation. On pages 31 through 32, you'll be declaring 2 properties surplus and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to SJ Holdings LLC. And that is a total of $5,593.22. That came from properties last week.
Scott,
Yes,
that
sir.
is what we tabled last week, these two coming up, right? We pulled it at the last minute, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
And there's a new one on
And the Moton
tonight.
Court also.
Sorry. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Gonna get back into my game shape. On page 33, you'll be declaring lots 39 and 40 of Moton Court surplus property and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed for $3,303.62. And again, that one was from property committees last week. On page 34, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to fiscal year 2023 general fund budget, and this came from Finance Committee last week. Are there any questions for me? Thank you.
Questions? No executive sessions today?
None that I'm aware of.
Mayor, the Unity Fest, is that officially moved now to November?
It is, I don't know the date, Richard may know the.
Yes, sir. So we're actually working through that right now. So Lapiri and I were talking yesterday, it looks like it's gonna end up being the first or second week, Friday in January.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we get all these things and then it says invitation, then it turns around and says canceled, so I'm not, like, I hate to ask this is probably, I missed it. Was there a fire appreciation banquet last night?
No, sir.
It's the
Monday
24th.
night.
Monday night.
It's the 24th. Good, well, that's good. It's coming up. 24th, right, because I kinda like about 7:30 last night said, oh blank. And I'm supposed to be at the fire, at the fire thing, but it's not till the 24th,
Are you
right?
sure you said blank?
I said, oh blank.
You can be my date, Kip.
I will say, we are going under a freeze warning, tonight,
The
through
weatherman.
Thursday night. The weatherman. And, we're projected 33, maybe 32 tonight. So, take care of your,
Pets and everything.
pets and your animals and bring your husband in. Or maybe not. But it's gonna be very, very cold for sure. We got I'm gonna get.
Okay, I know what the colonel said.
No, sir, I got a full meeting, project finance, admin, community development, and then of course council. Mr. Fail, you had something?
Yes, I did, and I, just to make it real clear to people, I got a text and a phone call from somebody I think a lot of is police department today. And they were questioning whether I was for the RSA conversion. And I assured them that I thought not just myself, but I thought everybody on this council was for the RSA conversion, including the mayor. And it was just an issue of where and when we find the money. And I just want people to understand that. I know it is a stressful thought, and I am aware we've lost police officers because of this, and we can't afford to do that. But we can't make any promises either.
Well, I imagine the fact that we will begin the public discussion, that there was an email that was sent out about it. So I would imagine that's probably raised the awareness.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a lot
Potential
today.
anxiety.
And then next week?
Kicks off on finance
Next week.
next week.
But we made it clear that is just the beginning of a long-term discussion that'll probably take place over the next 4 to 6 weeks, with different segments being looked at and evaluated along the journey.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. I agree. I mean, I think it's extremely important, and I don't know of anybody that's said anything to me at all about being opposed to it.
I agree with Mr. Field. I was contacted as well by email today, and just asked him some questions concerning the pension plan and the difference between the pension and RSA. So I think, and I believe that all of us are concerned about it. And I thank you for bringing it up today.
Thursday, thank you, Councilor Wilson. Thursday, 11, Personnel Board will meet in Sister Cities, ZBA. Monday, we're still taking, by the way, applications for another week. for the 3 openings that we have on ZBA. Whatever we decide to do there. Tuesday, of course, Tech Retreat, please come out. We'll all be here at 6, but if you'd like to come by the Gateway. Following our council meeting, I think you'd be pleasant, hopefully the weather will be great, and be pleasantly surprised at the turnout from the entire city. It's not just for, we got over 2,000 people. That's just, so please share, there it is, there on the screen. Please share with all your constituents that this is an event for the entire city.
You are dressing up, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I dressed, I went to Pastor Busby Sunday, I'm at the Witches Ride, and I had on my new black sweatshirt, Alabama sweatshirt, so I dressed as an Alabama fan in mourning. Yeah, I'm gonna dress as a councilman.
There you go.
Going to the
See how that
Tech
works.
Retreat.
What does that look like?
I don't know. It's coming from a meeting, get in there as fast as you can. Oh dear. Okay. Any department announcements or comments from anybody in the room? Anybody have anything else they'd like to add today for pre-council? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.